you ever disobeyed your parents? Did you get in trouble for it? I remember when I was little and I didn't want to eat my vegetables at dinner, so I got sent to my room without any dinner. That was not fun. Today we are hearing about Adam and Eve and how they messed up big time. Their mess ups even affected you and me. Before we get to that, why don't we worship God together? This is a great time for you and your family to lift Him up in praise. So stand on up, let's sing and dance together.
Father to the fatherless, defender of the weak, freedom for the prisoners, we sing. This is God in His holy place. This is God clothed in love and strength. Sing
everyone. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why in the world do I have an entire kitchen supply of food in front of me? There's only one good reason for this much food. It's our game called Chowdown. Now, we'll be combining food items, and you will have to guess if it tastes good or not. If you think it will taste good, give us a thumbs up and say yum. If not, give us a thumbs down and say, ooh, gross. Get it? Good. Let's go to our first combination.
All right, we're gonna make a sandwich for this one. A peanut butter and pickle sandwich. Bet you haven't seen this one before. Well, not good. You got the sweetness of the peanut butter and the pickle. Not a good combination.
All right, pickles and chocolate syrup. Oh, it's dripping. No, this is really bad. The chocolate and the salt really just mixed together. Please don't try this.
All right, people, we have brownies and hot sauce. Let's try this combination. Put a little bit of hot sauce on here. Give it a go. I mean, not my favorite, but got the hot sauce. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm going for another bite. Put some more hot sauce on there. You should try this at home. I think you like it.
All right, hey, for this combination, we're doing Cheetos and milk. Now, I don't know if I should dip it or if I should drink it or what, so I'm gonna do both. So let's try the dip first. I don't actually taste the milk, I just taste the Cheeto. So let's try it this way.
Looks great.
I got the Cheeto fingers. Cheers. It's not bad, but it's also not great. Like I wanna seek this out daily.
Well, hopefully you all learned how to become a great chef, or at least learn how not to create food. Thanks for playing. We'll see you guys all next week for another game time.
When we combine some things, it is absolutely fantastic. Other times, we can end up with a mess on our hands. Today, we are going to be hearing about something called sin and how it creates trouble in our own lives. As you can probably guess, it's not too great of a combination. What do you think it means when we say sin? Why don't you talk to a family member to see if anybody knows? We'll give you 10 seconds. Our big idea today is, what does it mean to sin? To sin is to behave in any way that goes against God. Why don't we learn how sin was first introduced into the world through our Bible story today?
God gave the first two people a beautiful garden to call home. He gave them everything they needed, and he gave them a command. God said, "You may eat from any of the trees in the garden, except for one." The garden had a tree in it called the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God warned the man, "If you eat from that tree, you will die." Now, the serpent was the most cunning of all the animals. One day, the serpent went to the woman. "Did God really say you can't eat from any tree in the garden?" he asked. The woman answered, "We can eat the fruit from the trees in the garden, but God told us not to eat from the tree in the middle of the garden. He said if we eat the fruit or touch it, we will die." "No, you will not die," the serpent lied. "You will be like God, knowing good and evil." The woman looked at the fruit. It did look delicious, and she wanted to be wise. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. She also gave some to her husband, who was with her, and he ate it. Then their eyes were opened, and they knew that they were naked. So they sewed together fig leaves and made clothes for themselves. That evening, the man and his wife heard God walking in the garden. They hid among the trees. God called out to the man, "Where are you?" The man said, "I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." "Who told you that you were naked?" God asked. "Did you eat from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" The man blamed his wife. "She gave me some of the fruit from the tree, and I ate it," he said. The woman blamed the serpent. "He tricked me," she said. God said bad things would happen. Life would be hard and painful, all because of sin. But God promised that one of the woman's descendants would destroy the serpent. God made those first people, Adam and Eve, clothes out of animal skins and sent them out of the garden. God put angels and a sword of fire at the entrance of the garden to guard the way to the tree of life. Ever since Adam and Eve sinned, all people have been sinners. Our sin separates us from God, but God still loves us. God promised a rescuer would come from Eve's family. God sent his son, Jesus, to rescue people from sin and bring them back to God.
Breaking things can be so much fun. Like, have you ever wanted to get a watermelon just to smash it? I know I have, but first, let's take it outside. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is our watermelon. Let's stick it right there, and let's get breaking. That's what I call broken. Breaking things can be fun, but sometimes it has consequences. Like for this watermelon, while it's a smaller consequence, we can't take a bite out of it or enjoy it. If we broke a vase, our parents may even be upset at us. Even if we break rules that our parents made, we can get in trouble. Consequences are not fun. Let's take a look at our story and see what consequences Adam and Eve faced for breaking God's rule. The book of Genesis tells us that when they sinned, God led them out of the garden. God told them that life would be hard, the ground would be difficult to work, and bad things would happen, all because of them breaking God's law. The worst consequence of them all is separation from God. He is so holy and righteous that he can't be near our sin. They didn't just have to leave the garden, they had to leave God's presence. They were once able to live with God in his perfect creation, but they had to leave it due to the consequences of their actions. Ever since Adam and Eve sinned, all people have been born into sin, and our sin separates us from God. But God still loves us. God promised a rescuer that would come from Eve's family. He sent us his son Jesus to save us from our sin and bring us back to God. Why don't you wrap up your time in prayer together as a family? Thank God for his love and spend some quiet time confessing your sin to him. We're all sinners and need Jesus to help rescue us from our sin. Now, prayer topics will be up on your screens, so pause the video if you need more time with them. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you guys all next week.